Hi, I'm Regina Pero, and I just released my song Words I'll Never Say that I wrote when I was 16 and I was an absolute beginner at guitar. So if you're also a beginner at guitar or you just want to play a really easy song, then I just wanted to make this tutorial to just kind of show you how to play the song because it uses different patterns and different ideas, but it's still like very, very easy, I guess, just judging it from now, because you don't have to use any bar chords, you don't have to really move your finger around a lot on the fretboard. So yeah, if you're an absolute beginner, it could be hard to follow along, but if you're more like intermediate or even advanced, this song is like super easy. And we're using, well, we're putting, if you want to sing it in the key that I'm singing it in, you put the capo on the 3rd fret. I think I originally wrote it with the capo on the 2nd fret. You can move it around however you want, whatever suits your voice, I guess. But yeah, if you want to play along with me, just put it on the 3rd fret. And the only chords that we're going to use are G major. I'm just going to put chord charts up here, I guess. We're going to use G major, D major, E minor, and C major. And all you really have to know about these chords, you have to be able to play those, obviously. And all you really have to know about them to make this whole pattern work is you have to know which strings they use. So, for example, the G major uses all the strings. If you strum it, you strum all the strings. But if you play D major, you only really strum... I kind of have to adjust this camera. Wait a second. Because you can't even see what I'm playing. Okay. So, now you can't see my face, but I hope that's okay. When you play a G major, you would strum all the strings. But if you played a D major, you would only play the bottom 4 strings. You would skip the 1st and 2nd string, right? And then with E minor, you play all the strings again, and with C major, you just skip the 1st one and play all the other 5. So that's all you really have to know to be able to follow along with this tutorial. So we're going to start with the pattern that I'm using. It's really strange, so you can't see my face. Like, this is weird. This is really weird. But hello, I'm still here. The pattern that you play for the verses is basically you use the lowest string that the chord uses. So if we're starting with G major, it's the 1st one, and then you just pick 4, 5, and 6. So like the bottom 3, you just pick with pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger. And then when you move on to the next chord, it's a D major. As we have discussed before, the D major skips the 1st and 2nd strings, so we start here. But like the 4, 5, 6 stays the same. And then we play an E minor, again, moving the thumb to the lowest string. And then we play the C major, where we skip the 1st and start on the 2nd string. That's what you do for the 1st verse. And for the 1st half of the 2nd verse. So I'll just play a little part of the 1st verse, I guess. I wish I could find the words to tell you how I feel. Right? That's how you play it. And then you go into the pre-chorus, which starts with the same pattern. So again, we're doing this. But then we're adding something. So instead of just going like this and just letting it ring, we're going down the strings again. So it's up and then down. And you're kind of playing 1, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3. So your thumb has to move to the 3rd string. And then you play the same with D major, but the thumb is already on the 3rd string, so it just stays there. 5, 4, 3. And then we go to E minor again. The thumb is moving to the 1st string. And then then to the third. And then for C major, again, we're skipping the first string, starting on the second, and then moving to the third. So I'm going to play through the pre-chorus so you can play along or hear what the original sounds like. So it's... And every time that you look at me, oh, I wish that somehow I could make you see. So for the last one, for the C major, I'm just trying to build some tension for the chorus, so I'm just picking this and then having a bit of a break so that there's tension for the chorus. So yeah, that's why I'm leaving out this part for the last one. So for the chorus, again, we're starting like this, but then we're going like this. 5, 4, 5, 4. I have no idea, by the way, if this is the right way to number the strings, but that's just, I call this the first one and this the sixth one. I don't know if it's the right way to do it, but I hope you're able to follow along when I call the strings those names. Yeah, so it goes 1, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 5, 4. So just going back and forth with the middle and pointer finger. So this is what it's going to sound like. Even when you're next to me, you're still too far away. So yeah, again, just like we did before, you have to keep in mind which strings the chord uses. So again, when we're playing G major or E minor, we're starting here on the first string. When we're playing C major, we're skipping the first one and starting on the second, and when we're playing D major, we're skipping first and second and starting on the third. But I think we've all kind of understood that by now. So yeah, just a reminder. And then so we have the pattern for the verse, this one, and we have the pattern for the pre-chorus, which is this one, and we have the pattern for the chorus, which is this one. And that was everything up to the second chorus. And then for the second verse, for the first half of the second verse, again, we're playing this. But then for the second half, we're just playing the chorus pattern, which is this. So the thing with the 5, 4, 5, 4. So I'll just show you what that sounds like in practice. So it's like, when I'm alone, I start to dream, and all I think about is you. And now it switches. And that someday, somewhere, somehow, I'm gonna tell you the truth. And then it switches again to the pre-chorus pattern because we're in the pre-chorus again. Right, this one. And then it goes to the chorus, and we just play the same chorus pattern that we did in the first chorus. And then it goes to the bridge, which sounds like this. And I know you just like me as a friend, but sometimes I wish you would take my hand because... So we're just picking 4 strings at the same time. We're picking the lowest string that the chord uses, so in G major, the first one, and we're picking 4, 5, and 6 all at the same time, like this. And the rhythmic pattern is like this. So we're picking each chord 3 times, and the pattern, I once had this percussion teacher who taught us a lot about rhythm, and he called this pattern the Panama, Panama, Cuba, because it kind of tells you with the first syllable where the beat goes. So it's like Panama, Panama, Cuba, Panama, Panama, Cuba, Panama, Panama, Cuba, Panama, Panama, Cuba. Right? That's how you remember this pattern. If you don't intuitively do it right, and if you've never played this rhythmic pattern before, it's Panama, Panama, Cuba, Panama, Panama, Cuba, Panama, Panama, Cuba, Panama, Panama, Cuba. I really like that because it makes it really easy to remember. So we play that for the bridge, and then we have this thing that's like every time that you look at me. So we're just picking in the same way with the lowest string that the chord uses and those three strings, but just once per chord. So it's every time that you look at me, I wish I could stop the world. And every time that you're next to me, I wish that I was your girl. And then it just goes into the final chorus and we just play the same chorus pattern, right? So again, it's the one that switches between the 5 and 4. But I know there'll always be a daydream far away. That's why I wrote this song for you, with all the words that I'll never say, that I'll never say. The words that I'll never say. The words that I'll never say. So for the last G major chord, I'm just again picking the first, 4th, 5th, and 6th string at the same time, just to have this really nice ending. It's very simple. It's all, wait, I'll change the camera again so you can see my face again. As I said, I was an absolute beginner when I learned this, and so it's like not really that spectacular and crazy and special, and it's not the most innovative thing ever, and it uses the most simple chords. And if you are learning to play the guitar and you've tried to follow along with this tutorial and you feel like now you might be able to play along with the original, I actually have a live guitar version that's basically just what I showed you, just vocals and guitar on this channel, so you can play along with me and my guitar in the exact same setup, so you can immediately hear if you're playing it right, I guess. So I hope that this was, I don't know, I hope you learned something. I hope this was fun. I hope I explained everything right. As I said, I don't know if I said the numbers of the strings correctly, but that's just how I like to think of them in my head. I hear a lot of people in tutorials talking about, now you play the E string or the A string or the D string, and I'm like, whoa, wait a second, I kind of have to remember which string is which. So I'd rather use these numbers. Comment below if you like that, or if you prefer people saying like, now you play the B string. I don't know, I always have a hard time following along if somebody calls the strings by the note names. Also comment below if you're a beginner at guitar, if you take lessons or if you're learning everything on the internet the way that I did. Tell me how long you've been playing guitar, how long you've been trying to learn this, and yeah, I'd love to hear from you and from your experiences. I might at one point make a video just talking about how I learned my instruments, guitar and piano, and how I learned to sing and what my journey was like with that. And if you're interested in that, let me know. Yeah, thank you for watching, and if you want to hear the studio version of the song, it's out on all streaming platforms right now. It sounds a little different than this live guitar version. Obviously it's a little bit more produced and a little bit more complicated, it has more instruments, but maybe you'd enjoy it. So yeah, I would be very happy if you checked it out, if you streamed the song, maybe add it to your playlist or something, or show it to your friends. Yeah, thank you for watching. I've been rambling long enough. Goodbye. Thanks for being here.